My point is that you can easily get all the nutrition that you need from plant-based foods, or you don't. All you have to do is you have to ensure that you are eating a balanced diet. Just don't eat your vegetables. I don't want to sound like your parents right now, but all the kids tuning in, I just want to ask you, please eat your vegetables. Please eat a lot of fruits. Please eat a lot of dried fruits. Please eat a lot of nuts, a lot of seeds.
I just love dried fruits.
Eat all of those. They'll give you a lot of nutrition. They'll give you a lot of energy.
Hello everybody, my name is 𝗙𝗵𝗍 𝗵𝗲𝗍 and I live in Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow. Today I am going to take the interview of Mr. Kuntal Joisher. But wait, he is an environmentalist and a mountaineer. अरे रुको, ये तो सुनो, 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗀 ने बच्चों के लिए कितना अच्छा काम किया है। एकेडमिक्स में फुल मार्क्स लाने के लिए तो सभी बोलते हैं और सारे बच्चे ले भी आते हैं, पर आपने कभी सोचा है कि हेल्दी ईटिंग हैबिट्स और प्रॉपर रीडिंग स्किल्स और प्रॉपर कन्वर्सेशन स्किल्स कितनी इम्पोर्टेंट होती है एक बच्ची की लाइफ में? यही सारी चीजें पे 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗀 काम करता है। सारी इंटरैक्टिव एक्टिविटीज और इंटरैक्टिव लेसन्स के साथ 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗀 बच्चों को एजुकेट करता है और उनको ये सारी चीजें में गाइड करता है जो मैंने बताई थी अभी। गुडनेस इंटरव्यू उनमें से एक चीज है जिसमें नन्हे मुन्ने बच्चे लीडर्स से बात कर सकते हैं और उनकी जानकारी कर सकते हैं। लीडर्स उन्हें अपनी एडवेंचरस स्टोरीज भी बताते हैं जिससे कि बच्चे बहुत खुश हो जाते हैं। अब हम लोग स्टार्ट करने से पहले मेरा दोस्त रायन आप सबको कुंताल सर के बारे में और बताएगा। थैंक यू।
नमस्ते एवरीवन, आई एम रायन फ्रॉम देहरादून, उत्तराखंड। और जैसे कि 𝗙𝗵𝗍 ने बताया, आज के एपिसोड में हम मिस्टर कुंतल जोइशर से बातें करेंगे। ही इज एन इनक्रेडिबल माउंटेनियर एंड एनवायरमेंटलिस्ट एंड वो पहले ऐसे वीगन हैं जिन्होंने माउंट एवरेस्ट को समिट किया है। पहले मुझे भी लगा था कि ये तो इम्पॉसिबल है, पर उनसे बातें करके मुझे रियलाइज हुआ कि ऑल वी नीड इज करेज एंड देन वी कैन डू एनीथिंग। मुझे पता चला कि हम सबके लिए एवरेस्ट का अलग अलग मतलब है और हमें पूरी कोशिश करनी चाहिए अपने एवरेस्ट को समिट करने की। But Mr. Joisher is more than just a climber. He also cares deeply about the planet and tries to live his life in a way that doesn't harm the environment. So let's dive into this episode to know more about vegan lifestyle, hardships of mountaineering, positive attitude towards life and many more things. Thank you.
Hello sir, I am Ryan. I live in Dehradun, a city surrounded by many mountains, and I study in grade 5. I love playing football and eating chocolates. Me and my friend 𝗙𝗵𝗍, who's soon going to introduce himself, would like to welcome you to this episode of Goodness Interviews. I am so excited to speak with you.
Thank you. Happy to be here and look forward to our conversation.
Hello sir, my name is 𝗙𝗵𝗍. I am a student of grade 6 from Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. I am so happy and excited to meet you, and I have been looking forward for this interview.
Super. Look forward.
What is the craziest and the most adventurous thing you have done on any mountain? Means it can be your first mountain or it can be the summit of Mount Everest, any mountain.
What is the craziest thing I've done? Let me think. So I was climbing Manaslu, which is the 8th tallest mountain in the world. This was in October of 2014. How old were you guys in 2014?
I was born in 2014.
Awesome. So on social media, there was a very viral trend in early 2014 that was called the Ice Bucket Challenge. I don't know if you know what the Ice Bucket Challenge is.
Oh, they put a bucket of ice and then they put someone inside it.
No, they actually fill a bucket of ice and probably some water into it, and they pour it on themselves. They don't go inside it, but they pour it on themselves. So I was on Manaslu base camp. This is at about 18,000 feet or something. And temperature on Manaslu base camp, I would say it was getting into the winters. So we were in October and it was almost the edge of winters. I would say temperature that day was about minus 10 degrees at the base camp. The base camp was entirely snowed out. So everywhere you could see there was just snow. And what I did was I did 30 push-ups at the base camp. I was wearing the thinnest t-shirt and the thinnest trousers that I could wear. I did 30 push-ups at the base camp, and my Sherpa guide poured 3 buckets of ice water mixed with ice on me as I was doing the 30 push-ups. So this was my ice bucket challenge. I definitely think this has to be the craziest thing that I have done.
Wow.
Because I honestly believe not to do something crazy once I'm higher up on the mountain, because then
Yes.
crazy can also become very risky. So I also tell a lot of youngsters that, hey, you have reached the summit of the mountain and now you want to take this crazy selfie. But just don't take so much risk that you fall down and that you get injured or you die, right? Every year I read some person went on top of a mountain near Mumbai and fell down while taking a selfie. But why? Why do you want to go on the edge and take a selfie? Why do you want to go on the edge and sit and take a selfie? Why do you want to do these kind of things? Just for a moment of glory on social media, or some viral reel that you are shooting? Why? Is your life worth this stuff? So I think crazy things are great. They're always fun to do, but I kind of like doing them when I am at the base camp and when I am in a lot of safe zone. So I had everything ready. After I finished my 30 push-ups, I had a Sherpa waiting with me with a big sleeping bag and a jacket and a towel. So the moment I finished this, I went and dried myself. I wore the jacket and I right away went inside the sleeping bag so that I could quickly generate warmth in my body. But yeah, this is perhaps the craziest thing I've done. I don't believe in, as I said, taking risks, unnecessary risks on the mountain.
Amazing, sir. You are such a good inspiration. I heard that you were a software engineer. How did your first career help you in mountains? Means, did you use some coding which helped you, or did you use computers on the mountains which helped you to climb the mountain?
Not at all, not from any angle. I didn't want to take computers to the mountains at all. Computers and mountains, I wanted to keep them very separate. But I think computer science helped me, but from a very different angle. When I did my 4 years of engineering or my 2 years of masters in the US, what those 6 years inculcated me in was a mindset of discipline and rigor and a lot of quality. What I also realized is that when you have to do a certain project or a certain goal or certain dream, then you can't half-ass that. You have to train hard, you have to build the skills, you have to get the experience, and that there are no shortcuts. It's a slow and steady journey to the top. When I became a computer engineer and I joined the job on day one, it's not like on day one I started building the next Facebook or the next Google of the world, right? It doesn't happen on day one. It takes a while before you start getting better at your craft and better at your skills, and you kind of start honing your skills and start improving your skills over a period of time. And that's what happened during the computer science journey. And that's what I reflected back upon when I decided to climb Everest. I thought, okay, I have to climb Everest, but I have zero knowledge about mountaineering. I have never climbed a mountain in my life. What should I do? One thing that I really was very good at in computer science is I was very good at reverse engineering things. And I was very good at looking at various patterns. So what I started doing is I started reverse engineering how can I climb Everest. And I also started looking for patterns in some of the most successful climbers. Right? I looked at the top 50 climbers of the world and I started seeing what are these top 50 climbers doing the best. Right? This is a mindset that computer science gave me. This is not a mindset that I had earlier. It is something that I learned in computer science, where you can look at patterns and you can say, hey, here's what is the commonality between 50 successful people in climbing Everest. Let's try and build these 2 or 3 skills in myself, and perhaps I will also succeed at climbing Mount Everest. So those are the kind of things that really help me in climbing Everest. Rigor, discipline, teamwork. And teamwork is something I didn't realize until, or I knew more about until I went into the corporate world and I started working in bigger teams and I started looking at the overall vision of the team, overall vision of the company, and started succeeding at that. So I didn't write any code or I didn't use any technological advances in my computer to kind of aid my mountaineering. There was a lot of mental or lot more intangible aspects that you get from the worlds of engineering and the world of corporate world, or the world of where you go and work and do things. So those are some of the things I use. So again, I'll kind of just recap: discipline, teamwork, reverse engineering, pattern matching, some of these things to kind of help me on the biggest journey of my life, which was climbing Mount Everest. So those are the kind of things I used, learnings from the software engineering world, that I was able to apply to the world of mountaineering.
That's awesome. What is the most challenging mountain you have ever climbed and why was it challenging?
I have to say climbing Everest from the north side perhaps has to be one of the most challenging climbs that I have done. The north side of Everest is very windy, it's very cold, and it's very technical. Because of the wind factor, very little snow or ice actually sticks on the mountain, which means significant degree of the mountain is very rocky, and some of the portions where there is still some snow and ice left, it's all very compressed and almost like blue ice or very icy kind of a feeling rather than snow. When you are climbing in snow, your climb kind of tends to get a little bit, I would not say very, but I would say a little bit easier, because look, it's snow, right? And if you have the right equipment, snow will support you quite a bit. It is hard from a physical fitness perspective, but just from a sheer climbing perspective, snow at moderate angles, like let's say 40 degrees or 50 degrees of walls, are pretty reasonable to climb. I would rather prefer climbing them. But when you go to the northern side of Everest, a lot of the mountain is very rocky, very icy, at angles of 60 degrees, 70 degrees. There's also rock that is constantly falling, pieces of ice that are constantly falling. Rescue is very difficult on the northern side. That, I have to say, perhaps was the hardest climb that I've done till now. But whenever someone asks me the question, which is the hardest climb that you have done? And my answer almost always is that it has not happened yet. Because who knows, the next climb may be the hardest climb that I do. And the climb after, and the climb after, and the climb after. I want to continue climbing mountains, and I want to continue challenging myself, and I want to continue climbing harder and harder and harder mountains, right? So the next hard mountain that I'm going to climb is going to come up. It has not happened yet.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing, sir. This is so awesome. One fun fact about you, which is kept as a secret. Not many people.
Oh, not many people know.
And please don't keep it a secret in front of us, because we are like your friends.
When I was young, or when I was your age, I was a super big foodie, like a super big foodie. A foodie to a point where if you hear this, you are not going to believe it. I could easily eat minimum 100 pani puris at one go. Minimum. Like that is like, would be a starter plate for me. Like, how when we go to a hotel and order a starter, that like 100 pani puris would be a starter for me, kind of a thing. So that's the kind of, or for example, I remember some of my friends always keep reminding me this story, that some point in 7th or 8th standard, we had gone out on this vacation where they remind me that I ate 22 batata vadas.
22?
Batata vadas. Do you know what a batata vada is?
No. Oh my god.
It's like a potato fritter, like, Like you would have like a aloo bonda or something. I don't know what it's called in the north, but in Maharashtra it's called batata vada or potato vada or pav vada or whatever you want to call it. But 22 of those are like almost the size of a small ball, or like a medium-sized ball, like a potato fritter. So I ate like 22 of those, or crazy stories about me eating food. Not a lot of people know this because they look at this guy. Hey, he's climbed Everest. He must be so fit. He must be eating like such clean stuff, and he must be maintaining his fitness. And I do right now. I don't think I can eat 100 pani puris or 22 batata vadas now. Maybe perhaps in 30-40 days I can eat all that amount of food, but not in one sitting. But that's like a fun fact about me. And another fun fact, I used to own like 500, 600, maybe 1,000 DVDs at one point when it used to be the time of DVDs. I had a massive movie library. I'm a big crazy movie fan, and especially a Japanese movie fan. So I had like 200 Japanese movies with me, like 200 Japanese movie DVDs with me. Not many people know about me. Even online, I never write about this, but yeah, some fun stuff. Some I would not call them secrets, but stuff that not a lot of people know.
So now I am telling you one of my secrets, which I'm disclosing to the whole world. Whenever I come from school or whenever I come from a 2-hour class, I'm like, Mom, just give me television or allow me to play video games. After a long day of school, I just want 5 hours of TV. Because now I am in 6th and they are like, do this homework. They give 10 homeworks in one day. Then, after you come from a climb, it must be a type of 60-70 days school for you. Do you watch your favorite series, the Japanese movies and the 1000 DVDs?
So, just like how you want to see TV, my daughter also wants to see TV. And my life is such that I can barely see a trailer on Netflix these days, because she hogs all the time on the TV. Anytime I start TV, she'll take the remote from me and she wants to see what she wants to see. And even though she's a 3-year-old, she knows how to do everything. She knows how to operate my entire phone. So, unfortunately, I can't do anything.
Can we play a rapid fire game with you?
Let's do that.
So, outdoor activity besides climbing mountains?
Favorite outdoor activity besides climbing mountain? Oh God, this is such a hard one. I don't even remember doing anything besides climbing mountains since last so many. Maybe, going and chasing some waterfalls. Like, even though this still includes an element of climbing mountains, like just going and bathing in waterfalls. Like finding secret waterfalls and going and bathing in them. Like the secretest waterfalls in the secretest places of near Mumbai, and just going and bathing in them and posting pictures of them and telling people, hey, look, I found a secret waterfall.
What is your go-to snack while climbing?
What is my go-to snack while climbing? Lots and lots of dates, lots and lots of walnuts, lots and lots of cashews, and when I come back home, a good Coke, like literally Coke Pepsi. You would be thinking again, why would you drink Coke? It's such an unhealthy thing. But it is all contextual, right? When you are climbing a mountain, all is okay.
Yes. So, favorite place where you have climbed a mountain? Leaving Mount Everest, the Himalayan range and the Mumbai range. Now this is going to be even tough.
Favorite mountain outside of Everest? I have to say it has to be the Andes in Southern America. I climbed the tallest mountain in the Andes called Aconcagua. It is the tallest mountain of the Southern American continent. And I did a really nice trip where I did an entire 360-degree climb of the mountain. I climbed from one side, got to the top of the mountain, and then decided on the other side, and almost did like a round of the mountain. And it was such an amazing, I got to see terrains and different cultures and different things on both the different sides. It was amazing. Totally loved it. Would love to go back again. And some point even fly from there to Antarctica and climb some mountains in Antarctica. Hope someday we'll see.
Yeah, please take me also for
Most beautiful mountain you've ever climbed?
Most beautiful mountain I have ever climbed has to be Mount Everest. I'm glad you didn't put Mount Everest, as a disclaimer. You can't use that. because it has to be Mount Everest. It had the view from top of the world is absolutely spectacular. It's like beyond words. So it has to be Mount Everest.
Yeah, that's great, Shiv. I really enjoyed playing Rapid Fire.
People say that without meat or dairy foods, you don't have enough strength to climb a mountain. But how did you do it?
So if let's look at what you eat in a day. Tell me what do you eat in a day?
I have milk in the morning, then I have breakfast.
What do you have in breakfast? Poha, upma,
Cornflakes,
puri,
parathas.
something, cornflakes, parathas, right? And then you eat
Chila.
roti, sabzi, chila, you eat dosa, idli, maybe pav bhaji, right? So if you see most of these things, they are vegetables, and then you eat fruits through the day, they are fruits, then they are dals, then they are whole grains like rotis, you'll eat dals like chole and rajma and all sorts of dals and all sorts of, gehu ki roti and all different sorts of rotis. Then you eat, badam, pista, khajur, all these things, seeds. And if you look at the typical diet or typical foods that people across the world eat, it is primarily vegan food that most people across the planet are consuming. The non-vegan food is always addition on the top, like you are drinking milk, or you are adding ghee to the dal, or you are adding butter to the dal, or butter to your sabzis, or adding paneer or something to the top. And then when non-veg,
Because I'm pure vegetarian, pure veg.
yes,
I used to have meat, but now I've stopped because it's almost like you're killing someone to satisfy your hunger.
correct. So people, will also eat meat, and people will also eat those things. But you are eating pure vegetarian diet. Have you had any problems with any of your energy or anything? You are able to do all your work every day, right?
Yeah,
Perfectly
but just
fine, right?
one is like I like to have cheese. I like to have butter, ghee, and milk. That I don't know. It's just I can't stop.
Someday you will go on your own journey, right? We
Like
each
ghee
are
right now, I can't stop because ghee gives you a lot of fat.
right. So there are a lot of other things that also give you fat, right? There's walnuts, there's almonds, there's cashews, there's pumpkin seeds, there's chia seeds, there's flax seeds. They all give you good fats. There's also lots of oils that give you reasonable amount of fats.
Yeah.
So if you want fats, you can get fats easily from plant-based foods across the world. Basically, my point here is that you can find all the nutrition that you need to climb mountains, to study, to run, to play for football, to play basketball, to play anything you want, that you can derive from plant-based foods. Today, some of the best athletes in the world, Novak Djokovic, Lionel Messi, some of your best footballers, some of your best basketball players, some
Cristiano
of your
Ronaldo.
yeah, so many of them are already eating plant-based foods. So many of them are already eating vegan foods, and they are all the top athletes of the world.
He said once that from now I will be a vegan.
I don't know if I'm not going and seeing what he's eating on a day-to-day basis, but a lot of them are eating a lot of plant-based foods. So my point is that you can easily get all the nutrition that you need from plant-based foods, or you don't. All you have to do is you have to ensure that you are eating a balanced diet. Just don't eat your vegetables. I don't want to sound like your parents right now, but all the kids tuning in, I just want to ask you, please eat your vegetables, please eat a lot of fruits, please eat a lot of dried fruits, please eat a lot of nuts, a lot of seeds.
I just love dried fruits.
Eat all of those. They'll give you a lot of nutrition, and they'll give you a lot of energy.
Just a few. What have you learned from your mistakes? Can you tell me one mistake a big mistake that you've learned from?
In 2011, I went on to climb a mountain where I grossly underestimated the mountain and double grossly overestimated my own abilities. And I tried climbing the mountain. It was supposed to be a 42-day climb, and I came back home in 15 days. I was again climbing in South America. I had spent $6,000 for the climb. I had spent $2,000 for the air tickets. I had to cancel the whole thing and come back home. One of the biggest mistakes of my life, but one of the biggest learnings of my life, that never underestimate the mountain and never overestimate your abilities. On the contrary,
Why did you
sorry?
Why did you go back in 15 days only?
Because I was not competent to climb that mountain. I just didn't have the skills, I didn't have the fitness. So I thought, oh, I have climbed so many mountains in the last 1 year. I must be strong. Let's just climb this mountain. Let's see what happens. I did not train enough. I did not do the hard work that was required. And so something that I want to share with you is that don't do that. If you have a dream which is Everest-sized dream, then your training and preparation needs to be double the size of that. Always. Train, 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 train. Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work. Mix in some smart work, right? You don't want to do donkey work. You also still want to mix in a lot of smart work and you want to do things efficiently. But don't half-ass your work, right? Don't half-ass things. Work hard. Very, very important as you go ahead in your journey. You are very young. Probably you may not understand this right now, but maybe 10 years down the line, you will think, अरे वो बंदा जो मुझे मिला था पॉडकास्ट पे उसने बोला था वर्क हार्ड करना है, कोई शॉर्टकट नहीं है जिंदगी में. Then you'll be like, yeah, there's no shortcuts.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your time with us. I really learned a lot from you. Have a nice day, sir. If there's anything you want to know about us, we'd love to share.
No, all good, all good. Had a good time having a fun conversation with you folks, learning more about your secrets and a bit more stuff about you. Enjoyed my time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
आज के एपिसोड में हमने बहुत कुछ सीखा ना, and we learned something new also. अगर आपके पास कोई कमेंट्स में क्वेश्चंस डालने हो तो जरूर डाल दीजिए. हम लोग नेक्स्ट टाइम जब कुंताल सर से मिलेंगे, we promise that we will ask those questions. Till then, see you.